In this presentation, we will discuss adding apps, currencies, and subscriptions for our accounting software. Let's zoom into it with Xero. Here we are in our Get Great Guitars dashboard. Now remember, we are in the Get Great Guitars, not the demo company. We are in the Get Great Guitars test company that we have set up. We're going to go down to the drop down or up to the drop down and then down within the menu underneath that drop down. We're going back to the settings. We're going to go into those settings once again. I'm going to hold down control, zoom up back to that 125, which is where I like to be in this kind of settings area. We looked at the organizational details, the users. Now we're going to look at the currencies, the apps, and the subscriptions. Let's start off with the currencies up top. Just note that currencies, when you have multiple different currencies you might want to be working with, that's going to be an added feature, or that's going to be a feature you want to understand how it's going to work with different types of accounting software. So in other words, I'm in the US currency, the US dollar currency here. If you're running your entire software in one standard currency, that's going to be a lot easier for the software to deal with. They might have, in other words, multiple different currencies that you could set the software up in. And then if you're going to run all the software in that one currency, that's typically going to be an easier scenario. If, on the other hand, you want to be dealing with multiple different types of currencies for different types of transactions within the software, that's going to get more complex. So note that Xero does have more capabilities than some other software, some other online softwares to help you out with different currencies that you might be using within different transactions that you would have within the software. So if that's a need that you have, we're not going to be practicing a lot with different currencies in this practice problem. For the most part, we're going to be keeping it in just simply one currency, but just note that you do have the options here, and if it's something that you want to look into, to have multiple currencies in different transactions, you can compare and contrast those features, and I think Xero is more favorable than some other softwares in providing those types of services. So it says here, send invoices, receive accounts, and get paid in over 160 different countries, and you can currencies. You can take a look at those currencies here. In our video, learn how Xero updates rates automatically and calculates gains and losses. Read our help article and to learn more. So again, if that's a feature that's important to you, Xero might be, you want to be able to compare that to other accounting software that you might be considering. Then we have the connection of the apps. So as we look at these online softwares, we have different applications that could be useful. These often are going to be more specific to the type of industry that you're going to be in. So there's a lot of different apps that you can look through. We're going to be running this problem without any apps. We're not going to get into any specific apps. But if you have specific needs by the industry and you don't see those needs being met by simply the accounting software, and you want to know whether or not the software can meet those needs, then you kind of would have to go into the apps to basically get more information on that. And so you could go here, you can go to the marketplace, and we have the apps, and you're going to have the menu on the left-hand side. You can obviously search for the app, and you've got the menu on the left-hand side for the common types of apps, such as like inventory might be something. If you need more detail, we'll take a look at some of the inventory items within Xero, but they're going to be fairly basic. If you have advanced inventory needs, you might need a different inventory. We talked about different payroll type of options. I see an ADP option here. It's not very well rated, but that's an outside app. And then here's Gusto and Paychecks here. So different types of apps related to that. Industry apps, and so I'll let you to take a look at that. Just be aware that if you have the specialized needs, then you may be able to meet some of those needs by looking at the applications. We'll be running our practice problem without any apps within the practice problem. Let's go back to our prior dashboard setting here. Let's go back to it this way. Let's hit the drop down and go to the settings. That might be easier. It's an easier way to get back to where I want to be. And then we want to go to just to take a look at the subscriptions. Change plan, update credit card details, manage your report, and so forth. So if we go into here, obviously we have these subscription details. You're managing the subscription for this organization. If I want to manage the subscription, they're going to say, hey, you're on the free trial version. Do you want to pay right now? And that's where we're at now. But obviously you can manage your subscription from that section.